redemption is drawing near.
Amen. And we're certainly living in those times now. We're seeing those things happening.
We are.
Rightio. So let's, with no further ado, we'll start playing the interview recorded a couple of days ago with Carolyn Hamlet. We welcome to the Minute to Midnight show Carolyn Hamlet, who is a former member of what we know as the Illuminati. Welcome to the show, Carolyn.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
They call her a former member of the Illuminati, but she makes it known on her YouTube channel and on her blog that she's ranked above low-level Illuminati. So I don't understand why people are always blowing up this Illuminati thing. Like, come on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be cynical, but when you're spiritual, that's like dealing with some low-level witchcraft voodoo bullshit, basically. This lady was actually working with fallen angels and Lucifer, who is Satan, not some stupid puppets wanting to puff themselves up to be something that they're not. That part.
For helping me get more of my information out.
Well, we believe that it's information that people really need to hear. So let's begin. Can you give us a brief outline of your background in the Illuminati and where you fit in the bloodlines?
Yes. In the way I fit in the bloodlines, I figured out later. It was not taught to me that way. I was not told it was like bloodlines, like Illuminati. Later I figured out by looking at my bloodlines, a little bit that I knew that it looks like it's probably the Merovingian line. And one of the reasons I've decided that that's probably it is because I've gone by family crest. There's a lot of dragons in there, and also there are a lot of the people that are in politics today and that are running the plan, which is a lot of people say it's the Illuminati that's running the plan. It's actually far deeper than that. But it's the ones that are pushing the plan today and following the plan as I knew the plan would go. Those people are actually in the bloodline that is the Merovingian bloodline. And it's actually...
Okay, she talks about a Merovingian bloodline. Okay, fine. All of it to me, and those of us who are spiritual, we send that bloodline right back to Cain. These people are descendants of Cain. Perhaps one of the branches of Cain's descendant is Esau, but Esau is nothing compared to the descendants of Cain. Come on, people. We're in the end times. Really wake up and stop being carnal.
In my bloodline, I'm more a distant related. But at the same time, the way I was told is, I don't remember ever hearing the term Illuminati when I was younger. Something I heard when I got older. What we spoke about, we called ourselves illumined ones. I was from an illumined bloodline, and that I was told it was from superior bloodline that wasn't human, that had mixed with human. We came from other planets, from their interdimensional beings, and that we were not only more highly...
Okay, she just said it. She's mixed with a bloodline that's not purely human. That's Cain. Look at her. She looks like what most of you will call Esau. Laughable. Come on.
Evolved than humans, but we were more highly spiritually evolved, far superior, and that our purpose on Earth was to help humanity evolve spiritually. So I was brought up believing that I actually worked for an organization, a spiritual hierarchy, that was the top of the pyramid, which would be above the Illuminati people, and that it's the cream of the crop is what it was.
Wow, that's really, really interesting.
So Illuminati, we actually look down upon what a lot of people would call Illuminati, because not all what people consider Illuminati are in the top echelons of the spiritual hierarchy. That sense.
Catch that. Spiritual hierarchy. Like, those of us who are spiritual, we turn our nose up on carnal people too. It is what it is. It's called spiritual snobbery. Like, not even worth being bothered with. Like, we can try to tell others what's really going on, but carnal minds cannot discern things of the spirit. That's Bible.
It was when I was about 33 years old. They actually showed me what illumination is.
33 years old, is that coincidence?
I doubt that. It's a lot of things. They use numbers a lot, and apparently that one matches up.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33.
Yeah. Wow.
And at that point, I found out, they told me what illumination is. Yes, I was one of the illumined ones from the bloodline. And illumination meant there's no lies left. It's like the whole thing's built on lies, but at the top, you know the fact that Lucifer, that their God is Lucifer.
When did you work out? When did you work out that Lucifer was at the top of the pyramid?
Actually, I didn't know that he was at the top when I was 4 years old. This is what I knew a lot about the plan before I was 4, but at 4 years old, more of that was spoken to me, and I was told that Lucifer was the Christ, and that he was the one that the books, the Alice Bailey's books, were glorifying. That Lucifer Trust, that was the name, Lucifer Trust.
Yeah.
So it's like I knew then it was Lucifer, but I was told that Lucifer was the light, and he was the top, at least in our organization, and that he was supposedly directly under God himself. But you see, through the years, that actually was hidden from me, so that this is how they work things, that they actually hide that from you. I knew that, but yet I kind of forgot it at the same time. And when I read the Alice Bailey books, what I saw later, was able to see later after I became a Christian and had my eyes opened and I actually looked at those books, I realized that wherever Lucifer's name was mentioned, and the 666, I read it when I was a kid, it said the Christ. It did not say Lucifer, but in the printed books actually say Lucifer. That's what happens when you're involved in this organization. You think that you see something that you don't actually see. They have complete control over you.
Yeah, and actually even the Bible, a lot of the modern translations have removed the word Lucifer from Isaiah 14:12, where it says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" Well, only the King James or the New King James pretty much have that in there.
And you know what else? When you get illumined, they tell you, at the top, they tell you, hey, Lucifer, this is Lucifer. You get to meet Lucifer. And they say, Lucifer is our God.
Wow.
And they let you know that Lucifer's Lucifer in the Bible, and he became Satan. He's proud of being Satan. And they also show you that who Jesus Christ is, because Lucifer, you cannot grasp who Lucifer really is, and being Satan, you cannot fully grasp it unless they show you who Jesus Christ really is, and who we really are in God's creation, and how valuable we are to our Creator, our Heavenly Father, Creator of the universe, how valuable we are to Him, and what He sacrificed, what it took to get us reconnected to Him and redeemed for eternity. He does not want to be separated from us from eternity. He loves us that much, and in order for people to understand and worship Lucifer the way he wants to be worshipped, like in that top group, you have to understand who Jesus Christ is, and then they want you to turn and say bow to Lucifer and say, I'll serve you, knowing fully well who Jesus Christ is, and I wouldn't do it.
Wow, yeah. Well, there wouldn't be too many people with an illuminist background such as yourself putting information like this out there. That's why I see this as so invaluable into getting the truth out, so people can see it for what it is.
Yeah, it's like God. I mean, people may laugh at hearing that, but I absolutely know for a fact that God intended for me to be spared so that I could. He put me and allowed me to be born in enemy territory and to be used of that organization in so many different areas that I came out with, I think, more knowledge than anybody else I've ever heard of that is alive and out of the organization. I mean, there's topics I don't know a lot about, a great deal about, but there are other topics I know a lot of detail about. But on the whole, I'm able to put the pieces together of how the whole organization is working through the supernatural, through mind control, through the churches. It's mind-boggling, really.
Which is, I think, is fantastic to get this information out there because people need to hear it. So, your mind control, they started on you really young, obviously, didn't they?
Yes, I believe that I was subjected to trauma when I was in the womb, before born. Certainly, shortly after that. And I was actually molested when I was still a baby, and I remember that. So, which is not an uncommon thing. Actually, it's very typical of people in a background like mine that they are molested when they're babies. Yeah. And it's one thing. It's one reason is because a lot of people in my background they've also been abused. They are associated with people in the organization that are abusers in all ways, sexual abusers, and also just physical abusers. It's around them. It's just a part of their lives. Well, it's part of my life, even as an infant. I had a brother I still have a brother that they didn't use him like they used me, but he was, I'm pretty sure, involved in early programming even before I was. He used to get taken by some relatives, stolen out of the house, kidnapped out of the house for sometimes days, weeks at a time. My mother didn't know where they took him. I was there. They rejected me. I can remember being rejected by my own grandparents. They favored my brother over me. They took him away. he learned how to speak German, fluent German. The way I think it happened, nobody knew how he learned how to speak German, but now that I know what I know, from people that come out of the organization, High German is spoken in rituals.
So these Germans are pretty much central to this plan. I've heard that before. Would you?
Seems to be.
Yeah.
It comes out that way. I have other teachings later that have to do with Hitler, and that's what I was told about him, which differs from what other people have been told. So. Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, I will make note of that to come back to that. We'll come back into that topic, but probably not right now. There's a few other things to cover, but that's definitely something I would love to go into. So what I'm dying to hear is, now can you give us an outline of the plan that the Illuminati has as far as you know it?
Okay, I'll give it from the viewpoint of when I was a little girl, the standpoint in history. It was post-World War II, and at that point in time, when I was born in 1953, and I knew, first of all, that what I was led to believe is that we were trying to help humanity. Our mission from the bloodlines were to help humanity evolve spiritually. And that each person had their job to do and throughout their lives, that they would work on whatever was assigned to them. And that all in all, by the year 2000, they planned that their global ruler would be in place. So this would have been what people call the New World Order. We called it at that time One World Order, a global order, and it was the global leader to be brought in to power by the United Nations by the year 2000. They hoped before the year 2000. There was a lot of work that had to be done before that time because they considered Christianity a problem, because they said that it was closed-minded people, Christians, that were preventing the plan from moving, from people being able to evolve to the higher state that was needed for them to be ready to receive what they called the Christ. The Christ is an office. It's not a person. They would say, ushering in the Christ. So even at a very early age, 3 and 4 years old, I knew the state the world was in was a far cry from what the Ascended Masters were wanting to fix so that people would be ready to accept their Christ, their anointed one, their chosen one. Well, the problem was that post-World War II America, where I was raised, was a society that was based on Christian values and what some people call Judeo-Christian values. And Judeo meaning that it was the Ten Commandments. Well, nothing wrong with the Ten Commandments if you really take a look at them. It actually basically keeps people from stealing each other's stuff, taking each other's stuff, somebody's wife, husband. It's treating everyone equally, help one another, love one another. You would want to be helped and loved, and it's just basic stuff that works well for any society, whether you believe in God or not. But the problem was they didn't want people to believe in God. They didn't want them to believe in the God of Jesus Christ. So what they needed to do, what they call was the law of harmony through conflict. To bring conflict, purposely bring conflict, so that people would have to change their way of thinking, so that people would be forced and led little by little through the years, so that by the year 2000 they'll be ready. They'll be so sick of religion. They'll be so sick of wars and pestilence and famine that they will embrace the solution presented to them by the United Nations.
You can see it happening now a few years later than 2000, but gosh, it's all...
Oh, yeah. So, I thought, even at that time, wow, we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
And I can remember asking my mother, well, what's going to be done for these Christians? I was picturing the Christians being just really foolish, ignorant people that were just too stupid to know what's for their own good. What are you going to do about these people? Well, she said, there's a compassionate plan within the plan. And that compassionate plan is murder.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not compassionate,
murder.
Is it?
No, but you know what? They considered it compassionate. And you know what? People, when it gets to be this point, people they're going to be so tricked into believing it's compassionate. And the way they're going to present this is that, one of the ways they're going to present it, is that they're going to present the law of karma, the harmony through conflict, the law of karma, which is, okay, those are lies, all right? First of all, those are lies. But they're going to say that Christians, in order to send them back to, if somebody is in first grade and they fail first grade, we hold them back. And everybody else goes to second grade, the first grader he gets held back. Everybody else moves on. This is the way they're going to be presenting it. It's a compassionate way to just send these lower
Yeah.
spiritually, low, they're not advanced spiritually, we're going to just send them back, and they'll be sent into another karmic rebirth, that they're going to start being reborn, like reincarnation, which there is no such thing. That's another huge lie.
Yeah.
But the deal is that people are going to actually think, oh, okay, well, these Christians are going to prevent humanity from reaching the most highest consciousness ever, that they're holding humanity back. So they're going to be all in favor of the compassionate plan within the plan to, if you kill the Christians and the true believers, that actually sends them back to their own kind, where they can evolve slowly, as slow as they ever want to, and everybody else just continues to evolve spiritually. So that's another way they're good.
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
Pardon me?
Makes so much sense. I have not heard anyone explain it quite like that before. What a sinister plot to kill people and then justify it as sending them back to basically start again and do it better next time.
Yeah, it's like
using
murder
reincarnation as the excuse.
Yep. See, people want to know how I could believe murder was good. But it won't be too much longer. In fact, they're grooming people right now for that. It's in the news. I think they're grooming people already. Just, murder is the answer. Killing off large groups of people is the answer. Hating your neighbor is the answer. It's all that because they want to escalate that to the point where people are going to hate each other so much, distrust each other so much, that they're going to look to somebody who's going to say, wait, stop it. We have the answer. We're going to unify the globe. We're going to unify everybody in love, in peace, in brotherhood. There's not going to be any kind of religion that's going to cause trouble. It's just going to be treat your neighbor as themselves. They're going to present what Jesus Christ said in the beginning. And it sums up all the 10 commandments within 2 commandments. And it's to love, first of all, it's to love your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and then love your neighbor as yourself. That sort of thing. And he summed up all the 10 commandments. Well, that only is achieved when you have the Holy Spirit of God in you. And no one can have that Holy Spirit of God in them that becomes their very nature unless they have that, it comes only through Jesus Christ and what Jesus Christ accomplished. And if people don't understand what Jesus Christ accomplished, then I suggest they look into it, because he did accomplish something. It took the Word of God himself to do it. To take on, you want to talk about karma. There is no real karma, but some people can understand that term. A lot of people these days can understand the term karma. So sometimes I'll use it. I'll say, what if you had the karma of every individual, just one lifetime, the karma, the bad, everything, the pain each individual suffered, the pain of, just everything, the terrible that's been done to one person, the hate the person's thought, the jealousy they've had, the pain they felt. What if somebody took all of that on themselves and took care of it? Well, then multiply that. What about all the people on the face of the earth today? What if somebody was able to take that all and cancel it out? Just take it all on themselves and pay for it. And what if somebody did that for every human being that's ever lived from the time the earth, first man was on earth, till the end of time? Already paid for all of that. Who could do that? Who could take that on? God himself. That is the only one. That's why it took Jesus Christ, the Word of God. So,
Amen.
Anyway.
So where can people find you? You have an online blog, right? Can you give the web address for that?
Yes, that is beyondthephysicalrealm.com. And my name is spelled Carolyn with a C, Carolyn. Hamlet is spelled Hamlett. It's like Hamlet Shakespeare, but with 2 T's.
Well, that's part of a longer interview I did with Carolyn Hamlet on these fascinating subjects, and we'll be bringing more from that interview and subsequent discussions with Carolyn to this A Minute to Midnight channel. So I suggest, in order not to miss any of them, that you subscribe to the channel.